of fiery plasma would mean saving on heating bills. Yeah, cheaper gas. Dog, you're gonna die. Take your goddamn cheaper gasoline ass back to the Carter administration where that shit mattered. You're gonna die. It's 2025. It's over. 5 year compared to COVID. Well, COVID, it dropped massively. Sorry, this is in Polish because the person who linked it to me. COVID, it dropped massively because there was literally like a stop to shipping. So you can see right here, right at the beginning, where it dropped essentially to, yeah, $22 here. In some places, it was like zero effectively. Dude, look at the drop, though. Look at this plummet, man. That is not good. The reason why it's getting cheaper is because demand is going down. And the reason demand is going down is because people are anticipating essentially the end of the world. There's a big difference between gas prices going down because people are deliberately pushing the value down and gas prices going down because of demand side drop. You know? Big difference. Vosh won't say because he's not a money guy, but invest in international stocks, not US. Rakewell, have you looked at what the... Have you looked at the global market lately? Let me go to 1 week performance for the world. My guy, the American market is the world market. Oh my God, it's all Chinese. It won't be for long. I don't know why you would assume that. The 2008 financial crisis affected the entire planet, but it was American banks that did it. It was American companies gambling on subprime mortgage loans. The entire planet suffered for it. It's a very interconnected weave. It's a very complicated weave. Could you move the camera for a sec? What, you want to look at Australia? Notice, by the way, how with like the key to this map, the darkest red pops up at -6% on the 1 week performance. So like we're the extent to which these companies are plummeting exceeds by multiple factors the greatest keying in this map. It's the brightest red they've got. Why not move your camera to the top left so as not to hide useful keys in the bottom right? That's a really good point. You know, I'll consider your suggestion. I just realized there's a way that I can save on one space in chat and leave it like reserved for things I want to see. It's all about the little efficiencies. Yeah, it's not good. I'm sorry, I'm really sorry, guys. I'm trying to think of a way to put this, of representing this information. It's genuinely really bad. Keep in mind that this largely red, like mostly downturn market was after the market opened positive and only began to decline. Look, the S&P 500 opened like 2% higher than close the previous day, and the tariffs don't come into effect until tonight, and it's a 104% tariff. Like, so if you don't know, like a 104% tariff on China effectively just kills U.S.-Chinese trade. That's like, there's no, the mathematics of a 104% tariff. It's like you might as well make it like 1,000% tariff. I don't know, make it 10,000. I don't know, whatever. It doesn't really matter. $800 Switch. There will be no Switch in the US. That's true. Switch 2 canceled. Our cheap Chinese goods aren't cheap at double the price. No, you're still not understanding. We get component materials from China. And also, things don't bypass the tariff barrier like only once. They trade between different countries. Stuff gets made in America, then shipped out, then comes back here once more. Other stuff in China gets priced up because everything in the economy is more expensive. So companies that normally can sell a widget at $2 have to sell it at $3 before the tariff to account for the losses they're experiencing from the economic decline caused by the tariff. It's not just a doubling of cost of stuff from China. That would be like the best case scenario. That would be the good timeline. If this only meant stuff from China only costs 104% more, that would be unbelievable, but still survivable. We're talking about like an exponential increase on every stage of the economic ladder. Oh, here's the article on Apple flying the planes in. That's pretty funny. One more day. Next iPhones are going to cost like $3,000. The dumbass bitch press secretary said that she thinks that America could make the iPhones. Today was reportedly the largest ever point reversal in the S&P 500's history, greater than the 2008 financial crash. Jesus Christ. Love that top comment. Gen Z grew up with crypto. This is child's play. We're all gonna die, and we deserve it. Breaking. White House Press Secretary Leavitt says, Trump believes the U.S. has the capability to make Apple iPhones. I'm gonna lose my goddamn mind. You could not build iPhones in America. On Tuesday, when asked by a reporter if Trump wants iPhones to be made domestically, Press Secretary Carolyn Leavitt replied, absolutely. He believes we have the labor, we have the workforce, we have the resource to do it. It's... Oh, man. Analysts generally believe domestic iPhone manufacturing isn't tenable on a financial basis. The company relies on the contract manufacturer Foxconn to make the vast majority of its iPhones in China. Wedbush analyst Daniel Ives estimated an iPhone made in the US be sold at $3,500. That's not even true. That's not true. That's way too low. We don't have the manufacturing capabilities. We literally don't have the technology. We don't have the domestic we don't have the tooling. We don't have the machinery necessary. It's not even a matter of like, oh, well, what if we built it? We don't have the technology. That's not a joke. Foxconn is ahead of us on that kind of tooling. Why wouldn't they be? They do it and we don't. Why wouldn't they be ahead of it? Why would we be ahead on it? We don't do it. Why would we be ahead on technology that we don't do? Saw an article that put US-made iPhones at $30,000 a piece. I think it would be more accurate to say that iPhones would become like, in addition to being unimaginably expensive, they would also be, they could not be sold in large quantities. It would be like, I'd be amazed if they could hit 1 million a year. It'd be a true luxury item, like a real luxury item. Or Apple would just move everything out of the US. Well, I mean, yeah, but we're talking about the possibility of them manufacturing it here in the United States. That's the sort of the conditional that we're talking about. Apple currently makes over 200 million a year. Apple, I think, makes more than that. But what's important to understand is that if Apple attempted to set up the supply lines to make iPhones here in the United States, it would bankrupt the company. Sells over 200 a year. Yeah, makes over 200 million iPhones a year. It's a lot of people in the world, you know, and they keep making new ones. But it would bankrupt Apple trying to make them here. What are we going to do when our current iPhones break in like a year since none of us can fix any of them? There is a very real possibility that our children and grandchildren grow up in the shadows of ruins that they can't understand. Like, we might have technologically peaked. And I don't mean that in like a there's no more stuff to build or people aren't making cool stuff or whatever. I mean like it takes a lot of civilizational wealth to do certain things and we're kind of throwing it away. Like there will be people who like grew up with iPhones and then as adults have to use cheap clamshells because it just becomes increasingly difficult to buy and maintain due to decreasing consumer standards, lack of right to repair, you know, lack of like ongoing software support. So like older phones get bricked out because Apple sends them the buy a new iPhone from us bug or whatever. Yeah, we're gonna be talking into tin cans connected by string. We're gonna be like Italian peasants growing up in the shadows of Roman ruins in like the 1700s or whatever. We have no idea. We can't even imagine. Trump degrowth king. Do you hear that Trump is saying that he can't wait to power AI with coal? Like for a while, the talking point was bringing nuclear back online, but I guess now we're just, it's so over, man. Jesus Christ, we're all going to die. Yeah, pretty much. Why didn't Biden think of this? Because he's an idiot and sleepy. Trump order looks to tap coal and Quest to power data centers. It's so over, man. All of the jokes we made about like the cyberpunk dystopias or whatever, we're bringing it back. We're making all that shit feel real again. We will have planet-destroying data centers fueled by coal plants. There are nice smartphones for $100 to $300, so even with a 104% tariff, they're affordable and can do all you need. I don't think you're understanding the assignment, Beer Wish. I don't think you understand like the set of conditionals we're talking about. We're talking about manufacturing iPhones in the United States, which is totally unworkable. You can still afford like an iPhone if it's pushed through the tariffs. It's just going to be like $2,000 to $3,000 probably. But it's not going to increase just 104%. Why not just offshore even harder to limit the impact of the tariffs? I'm not sure what you mean. How would that avoid the tariffs when you're manufacturing stuff in other countries? That would be the thing that gets you hit with tariffs. Only having them apply one. It's just not that. Listen, okay? If you guys ever want to like fully appreciate how cooked all of this is, look into the supply lines required to make like any product. Like look at your desk right now and look at a product. For me, I looked at this lip balm right here, okay? And try to do some Googling and find out like the total supply line math that went into making this. Not just where it was made, where they sourced the plastic for, how, you know, what chemicals did they use to make the plastic, And where did those chemicals come from? What about the wrapper? You know, like how all together, what did it take to